What up, friends? How are you doing? So, I'm trying to revert back to my childhood, okay? To when times were simpler, okay? I'm coming to you live from this is my son's bunk bed, actually, and if I fall through, we're falling together, okay? A fun fact I wanted to mention like, it's like a little, it's a bunk bed, but it's a little, this is how you get out, and the stairs are right there. And it's like a clubhouse, like it has a window. It's pretty cool. I'll show you the other side later. But I'm in his room, and this is a quilt right here. And when I adopted my son, everybody, oops, I'm covering my thing. Can you hear me? Hello. Everybody got a what is it called? A quilt. Because I adopted him through the state of Texas, and we were able to pick out a quilt, and I use it as a curtain, actually. And probably people, it's a real quilt. Like, you can't wash it in the washing machine either. So I'm sure people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, you're using it as a thing, what you call it, as a curtain." Well, I didn't know what to do with it. I wanted it on display, because I love it. It has like all of the Texas colors, it has like the USA flags on it. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so I had picked that out. They had them all like on display. It was like on National Adoption Day, which is around 11/11. Surprisingly enough, 11/11 was the adoption day. Like, oh my gosh, so much happens to me on 11/11. Like, 11/11 follows me around my whole life now that I realize it. Anyways, so when I adopted him, we were able to pick a quilt, and this is the one that I picked out for him. So I'm reverting back to my childhood. That's why I'm in his bunk bed. But the reason is because I wanted to talk about being a supportive friend during, maybe you have a friend that is not in the best spot in life. Maybe they're making bad choices, or maybe they're in a bad relationship. Um, you know, this whole year has been very eye opening for me, because for many years I did the same thing over and over. I was like a robot. Like, I did the same exact thing every single day for many years. Okay. I knew I wanted change, but to actually change, you actually have to change. You have to make changes in order for it to happen. We all want to reach happiness. We all want to reach peace, right? That's our main goal in life, isn't it? Like, we want to be happy. Like, who wants to live a miserable life? Who wants to live an illegal life? Who wants to live where we're breaking the law every day? Who wants to make fast money? Nobody. Like, we do it because out of necessity, because we have to, right? And, in order to change from that and to evolve from that, we have to actually change, okay? And sometimes we make it stuck in stagnant positions and in relationships, and, we don't know what to do. And for the meantime, I feel, this is just my opinion, that Jazzy has some sort of like trauma bond with that man. We all know, or we're assuming that he treats her badly, and that he is no good for her, right? But she doesn't see it yet. Right now, that's the apple of her eye. That's her plus one. Maybe she's used to seeing that growing up. We don't know what she went through, and maybe this is normal for her. Some people do function with nothing but chaos and drama, and they feel comfortable. To us, we're like, oh my gosh, like, oh my goodness, like, she didn't realize her life was like so chaotic until we pointed it out to her as an audience, right? She was living a certain way with a pimp for a very long time. She didn't realize she was doing anything wrong until everybody was like in awe and up in arms about it. Then she made changes, during video. I'm not saying she's changed like in real life, but the way she started recording her family was different. She started buying things for her children, right? Because she never did that before, because she didn't know. She didn't know, or didn't want to. I don't know, until we said something, right? So sometimes when we have friends that are calling us all the time, offloading their BS, and whatever that they'll call and they're like, I said this in my video the last time, like our friends will call us and then they're like, oh my gosh, like I hate him, like I just don't want to be with him anymore, like I'm just so tired of him, you know. And then the next day they're like all hugged up, you know, like all lost in love, like nothing fucking happened, like you weren't you just crying with me till 4 o'clock in the morning. So in that sense, I can relate to Liv. Okay, I can see how she was probably frustrated, possibly a little bit jealous, because people, you know, who are used to being in relationships and they see like some friend who ain't shit and we think we're better than them, and you know, and she has this long-term relationship on the internet. Of course she wanted to ruin it because she knew the truth. She knew that they weren't really together. She knew that they were having problems. She knew that they were fighting on a daily basis. She knew. So she was giving off this image online to all of us, like if everything was all fine and dandy, which we weren't even buying it to begin with. We knew it was bullshit. But just to, you know, just to burst her bubble, she, you know, that's why I think that's why they started fighting, because of all this, you know, or Liv started fighting with her, was just to burst her bubble. But when we're in situations like that, us normal people in real life, and people are just trauma bonding or just like offloading their traumas on us, it does something to us as friends, doesn't it? It just gives us like this, it brings us down. You know, there were some times when I had friends that I couldn't even like say any good news because, you know, because I, you know, whenever something good happens to you, you want to go and tell somebody, like, guess what? Oh my gosh. And you want somebody to be happy for you too. And sometimes when we come to people and we tell them that, they're just like, you know, because they're in a bad mood, because they're, you know, nothing good is happening to them. So that's why for me, people, places, and things that no longer serve me are people that I cannot go and tell good news to. Because if I can't go tell you good news and you can't tell me good news and all you're telling me is nothing but bad news, we don't go together. We're not the same, right? So if you're going to be stuck in these relationships like that, I feel Liv was, this was, I believe Jazzy to Live was a people, place, or thing that no longer served her, so she had to release her. She released her the wrong way. She should have released her lovingly and took her life as a lesson. Like, this is how me and my ex-husband were, because God will show us. God will show us in other people or other circumstances. Look, this is how you were in your relationship, and God will sit us down and let us see it firsthand, and we're supposed to take a lesson from it, and we're supposed to release it, learn the lesson, and release it lovingly. She did it a little bit wrong, okay, but that's okay because we're all learning, right? We're all learning in this journey of life and on our voyage to happiness, right? And I, that's what I feel. I feel like she was just too much for her in a time where she's trying to get herself together, so they wouldn't, it wasn't clicking, you know what I mean? We have to surround ourselves by people like us, you know. That's how we move on, that's how we change, that's how we evolve in life, is letting things go that no longer serve us. But not in this way. And I know I'm not, I know I shouldn't be talking, because during my breakup, i I unleashed a demon, okay? And I feel really bad for that till this day. And I feel bad for all of the drama I caused this past year online and stuff like that. I really do feel for it. And I feel I'm responsible for the way people feel about me, you know, and I feel bad for that every day. So that's why I'm trying to make changes here, to show people, you know, I am a different person. I mean no harm, really. I think I'm misunderstood, and that's it. So, anyways, so sometimes in situations like that with friends, I'm gonna end this with this. If you have a friend that's you want to be there for a friend. We're kind of stuck in a rock, in the middle of a rock of a hard place, right? Rock and a hard place. Like when we want to be there for a friend, but when, how many times are we going to be there for a friend for her to offload their trauma? How many times? For me, if it gets to be too much and I dread answering the phone, that's when I'm gonna have to cut ties. You know, call me when you have good news instead of bad news. You know, it seems like some people, like, all they have is nothing but bad news. And they don't even ask you how you are. When you have a friend that doesn't ask you how you are, then you know that friend's just using you just to offload their drama and their BS. And those friends we don't need. We need friends that are going to evolve us, and friends that are going to bring us to the next level of happiness. Like when you just like, and it's hard because for me letting go, like it's hard for me to let go of anybody because I'm a Cancerian, okay? We hold on to shit for a very long time, even though we shouldn't, right? But I had to learn that if somebody is not going to change their ways, I am no longer going to communicate with them. If you're not going to change and be the way I need you to be, like I'm going to be for you, then I don't need you in my life. And that's hard for me because I don't want to let go of anybody. You know what I mean? Because I'm a Cancerian. I can't help it. Okay. I'm a fellow Cancerian. I cannot help it. Okay. Anyways, so yeah. So let me show you this. Let me get off. Hopefully, I don't go tumbling down. Hang on. Okay. This is the quilt right there. So when I adopted him, they had them all like in the. It was over there in the. I think it was at the Alamo Dome. No, it was next to the Alamo Dome, and we were able to pick out the quilts. This is the one I picked out. All right, friends. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Hopefully, you heard this message in its entirety. Please don't let anybody bring you all the way down. Be a friend, but don't be a friend that's just there taking other people's bullshit. If your friend can't be there for you, then you can't be there for them anymore. Okay? Bye bye.